She Made Me podcast, everybody.
I hated that.
I like that.
And we're going to keep this in, and it's going to be great.
This entire opening, this is all it is. All right, but seriously, okay, this is the She Made Me podcast. We are very excited. The inaugural episode.
Absolutely.
Episodes.
And we're going to do an episode 1. None of this episode 0 bullshit.
No. We've already done that. We've been there, done that.
Done that. So I'm Chris. This is Sam. I am 2 pixel wide over on the YouTubes.
And I'm not on YouTube yet.
Well, he's
soon.
Soon. It's fine.
It's to come.
So we just watched a movie. Why don't you explain how we came to...
So this is the whole concept of, the whole premise of the She Made Me podcast.
Very high concept.
Very high concept. Is that Chris and I both have significant others. Chris, married for 10 years?
Almost 11 years?
Okay, 10 years.
No, actually 11 years. In April. Okay, I'm starting off real well here.
Okay. Brownie points, really kicking it. So Chris has been married for, as you now know, 11 years. And I'm coming up on my 3rd year anniversary with my girlfriend. So my girlfriend is always trying to make me watch things.
Yes.
And I never watch them. And she hates me for it.
And see, I'm on the other end where my wife just does not make me watch things anymore.
She's
and we
given
just
up.
watch our own things.
Hannah and I are starting to come into that. But now with the She Made Me podcast,
yes,
many a brownie point are coming because the whole idea is that we're going to get our significant others to suggest things for us to watch.
Yes.
And we're going to watch them.
And we're going to watch them. And then we're going to lose all those brownie points by tearing them apart.
Absolutely shitting all over it. But seriously, yeah, this is come back week to week. This is what we'll be doing. Our first movie that we watched was Cheerful, Weather for a Wedding. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
For the wedding?
I don't know. I keep forgetting the name of this movie.
I'm not going to look it up.
I think I needed you to tell me the name of this movie 5 times to find it. It's like, wait, what is it again? Cheerful Weather something. Cheerful Weather.
I have it open on IMDb.
Oh, good. Because we need proper information.
Well, I want to know. We need to give the synopsis of the movie based on IMDb, and then we'll give our synopsis.
Wait, there's a synopsis to this movie?
Yeah.
What? Okay, spoilers. Okay.
let's just get into it.
Wait, something happened?
Cheerful weather for the wedding. Okay, so it stars Felicity Jones. Mm-hmm. Let's get that going, okay?
Yes.
Beautiful Felicity Jones. Made in 2012. It is a comedy drama. And it is about a young woman who frets upstairs in her family's country manor on her wedding day, fearful she's about to marry the wrong man. Downstairs, both her fiancé and her former lover grow increasingly anxious.
All of this is accurate.
All that's accurate because there's nothing happens in this movie. It's Chris and I were saying, like, we could easily edit this down to a 30-minute bottle episode.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Of a sitcom.
Let's start. Let's start from the very beginning.
Okay. So IMDb rates it. It's a 5.6 out of 10. Metascore is 49. What would you give it?
That's a little high, I think.
Let's give our ratings at the end. We'll give our own
yeah.
ratings at the end. I think that's high. I think that's way too high. Who directed this? Hang on, let's see.
Yeah.
Top billed cast, we got Luke Treadaway, Elizabeth McGovern. Oh, that's the mom.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I know I recognized her from other stuff. And is she British? I don't think she's actually...
Everybody in that movie was incredibly British.
Okay.
If they were not, they do it well.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Director Donald Rice. What has he done?
Oh, hopefully lots of other things.
Oh my god, he's a very British boy. He's done nothing else of note.
All right, so basically this movie exists.
That's all we know.
That's all we really know. We just watched this. And so, okay.
What's your quick review of this movie?
Quick review, 30-second takedown. It is a beautifully filmed, well-edited, the colors in it are great movie that has nothing going on.
There's nothing that happens. There's no reasonable plot to this movie. Like, it literally, the synopsis says is that's the only thing that happens in this fucking movie.
Let's break it down. Let's start from the very beginning.
Okay, yeah, let's start. I'll open my notes.
Oh, yeah, you took some notes.
It's really just our shit talking. That's all of my notes are.
So, it opens up in this house, this very British house, and it's a period piece it takes place in the past. I don't know. They don't give a specific date or anything. That's not really important. And I actually kind of really like that it doesn't really give us a date. It's just like, hey, this takes place in the past.
Yeah. We've seen enough period pieces to be like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's in the past. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Unless it's Downton Abbey.
Yeah,
like, we don't need to know exactly what's happening.
It's like, this took place in 1842, and yeah, no, it's...
No, we don't care.
It is a period piece. It takes place somewhere in the past in very British Britain.
Very good. Yeah. So, like, they're like a society family, obviously. Like, well off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, upper middle class.
Yeah.
And, like, they're getting ready for this wedding. Like, it's the morning of the wedding. And my only note for that is, I don't hate it yet.
Yeah, you know what? At first, I had real hope for this movie because the opening scenes and stuff, and again, the
Oh yeah, the opening with so it opens with like those typeface stuff, and they're like printing they're printing the invitations. Chris's first thing, he's like, you know, you can get that way cheaper at Kinko's.
Yeah. Didn't realize it was a printing. It was a period piece, but so it opens up and everything just looks really nice. You know, when I jumped into this, I had no idea what to expect. I assumed it was just some like, you know, a stupid romantic comedy, which is going to be the backbone of this entire podcast. I think is stupid romantic comedies. What I did not expect was a really nice looking movie.
I know, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
And, you know, the colors look great, and they do a really good job. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but when it comes to... So they have the main plot, and then they have stuff that happens in the past. And they have very distinct looks, very distinct color palettes. And I think that's really good, and it's really done well, and it's understated. You know, it's not in your face about it, but you know it's there, and it's really cool.
And they and the editing for those moments when they cut to like the flashbacks, like they'll do like an audio up, or like, you know, it's like the knocking of the door, and then it's him knocking on the door. You know, it's like a really fast cut, which I appreciate. Like it wasn't like a fade to the beautiful, prolific summer of 1993.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And again, and they do it often. But they're not like in your face, like, okay, now in the summer of 1842 or whatever the date was, you know, they don't throw that on the screen. You get a sense. They do it really well. They don't throw it in your face. You just know that this was in the past. This is something that happened before this wedding is about to take place. And then
it's good to note that, like, because we're going to shit all over this fucking movie. So you might as well be positive from the top.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I do really appreciate like the filmmaking of this movie, not the writing.
Oh no,
not the story.
I think they forgot to hire a writer.
Yeah,
I think a bunch of people got together and went, "Let's make a movie,"
it's
and
just a
forgot
bunch of crappy moments.
Somebody forgot the script. Somebody was like, "Oh, the script's in the car." Shit.
Fuck. You know what?
Let's just do it.
Just blow up that confetti bomb. It's fine. Go ahead.
That kid was awesome.
That kid was the shit. We'll get to the kid. Yeah. The savings grace of Cheerful Day for a Wedding.
Yes.
Cheerful Weather for a Wedding. So. Yeah, it has to be appreciated. Like, the cinematography was fantastic. Editing, I thought was really great, actually. And you said, like, the sound design was awesome.
Sound design is really good.
The set was really nice, was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of great, like, all of the, like, departments, essentially, they were
top
firing on all
absolutely,
cylinders.
Because, like, and especially when I was mentioning the sound design, again, it's very understated in a lot of points. You know, they know when to cut the music when you need that tension. They know when to bring up the music, except for the very end, which was unearned. And anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But like the sound design, and even just like the sound of people talking in an old British home. There's a lot of echoes, there's stuff, but it doesn't sound like bad filmmaking. It sounds like people talking in an old echoey house.
Yeah, it felt like they're in the setting that is being shown.
It's very setting appropriate, and it sounds good.
Yeah, it does. So now that we've said everything positive that we have to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Let's get into some of the beautiful, because like there's so many, like you said, it's like Gilmore Girls almost like dialogue going on, as like a play. Really.
Yeah, I really think, and I almost want to do the research on this, that it was written as a screen, like as a play.
Yeah, I think it would have done a lot better as a play, actually.
And it sounds like a stage play. The dialogue sounds like a stage play would go out. You know, people aren't talking over each other. It's very... This person's talking, then the next person's talking, then the next person's talking, in like a very Gilmore Girls sort of way, where everybody talks super fast, they're right to the point, and it's very unnatural.
Yeah, really unnatural. But so here's some beautiful choice lines that I decided to... You must think I'm a rhinoceros in this frock.
I do appreciate the accent on that too. That's
And
great.
then also another one, a young lad stands up on a chair and he can see his socks. And then the same woman says, "Those socks are pure cat sick." And they're just yellow socks.
And it's just that through the entire thing, which is kind of nice.
Really. Those are literally the only notes I have for the opening.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that goes on.
But and that's the sort of through line of this entire movie is, so when we open up the movie, people are getting ready for this wedding that's happening. We get this, we get a picture of the bride to be. She's sitting down. She looks kind of depressed
she's getting ready,
or whatever,
yeah.
but she's getting ready. And then nothing just really happens. And then like suddenly people are, and then
Because they're coming for lunch.
yeah, and then so the other main character, the guy, what's his name?
Joseph.
Joseph comes, and people are all just like, "Hey, Joseph, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm here. I don't know." And then
Obviously gonna cause shit.
yeah, he's there to cause shit, but people being super British are like cool with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like,
But he is an ex-lover.
yeah, he's an ex-lover that's there, but
That was
everybody's
said he was like invited by Dolly, who's
Yeah.
who's Felicity Jones.
so he is invited to be there, and people are pretty cool about it. They're pretty
Yeah.
British.
What's the word? Yeah, they're just like they don't want to cause a tiff.
They're very polite about
Very
it.
polite.
Yes.
Yeah. Very polite. Even though they shouldn't be.
No,
Like they
no,
should have
no.
kicked that motherfucker out
Yeah,
right
it's like,
away.
Okay, I mean, you were invited, that's cool, but we're not cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of thing. But no, none of that. So everybody sits down for some lunch, and then they eat lunch.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing really happens. People are shouting at Grandpa because he can't hear.
Literally, that's probably the biggest moment.
That's a
of
plot.
lunch.
That is actually a plot
Oh
point.
no. Chris's biggest moment of lunch.
Oh,
I
yes.
wrote this down. He's like, at one point, somebody opens up a window.
Oh, the window!
And you can see he loves it.
Okay, this window was nuts. Okay, so they're just like, okay, everybody's too drunk or something, so let's go walk out into the garden. So I'm thinking, okay, let's leave out the back door to go to the garden. No, this woman opens up a gigantic window that goes to the floor. She just opens it up and they just go out the
Chris
the
is
window.
just amazed by this.
I'm just like, this window is a door, but this door, what the hell is this window? Okay. Sorry.
You loved it. Loved the window. Can't get enough. Oh wait, Cat's gonna ruin our recording.
Cat's gonna ruin our recording. That's
So, I thought to me because there's also a kid under the table,
the kid under the table.
and it was literally British cheaper by the dozen. Legitimately,
Yeah, so
that
good.
scene where Ashton Kutcher's shorts get eaten by the dog.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that to happen. I was waiting for Ashton Kutcher to pop in and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
So at the beginning of this movie, this kid who's just, family, he's a family kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the very beginning, he's given this brown paper bag of goodies that we assumed was drugs at first.
Should have been drugs.
Should have been drugs. But it turns out they were explosives.
Confetti bombs.
Confetti bombs or whatever. So this kid spends the entire movie just blowing shit up, which is probably the best thing going for this movie.
It is. And every time he asks, he's like, "Grandpa, did you hear that?" Like, it's just this weird little dynamic that keeps popping into the movie, and it's fantastic.
And there's this other dynamic that's not as good, is the bathroom, the sticky door on the bathroom
yeah.
bit.
So one person gets stuck, and then later on in the movie, and then he gets out, and it's like a whole little shtick, and it's not funny. Like
He's like, "Oh, didn't you hear me? The door got stuck," and that's literally the joke.
That's
is
the joke.
The door got stuck, and he fell. So then later in the movie, a woman gets stuck in the same room, and then like some guy is like,
he weirdly comes and just like opens the door, but like doesn't want her to see him.
Yeah, he's
And
like,
it's
"Don't
not
see me,
explained.
help."
Like why?
Yeah, like, well, just open the door for her. Like, why do you have to be so weird about it? It's like, I don't want you to see me opening this door. Like, maybe it's some weird British thing I don't get.
Don't you dare open a door for a woman if she doesn't ask. Don't you fucking dare, Chris.
Maybe it's because it's the bathroom door and it's a woman.
Oh, maybe actually.
Maybe?
That makes more sense.
I don't know.
But it still didn't make any sense.
She's obviously stuck. She's obviously
in need of help.
in need of help.
Yeah.
Just to help the woman get out of. Yeah.
Okay, and then there's another weird moment, where, like in a flashback. So like we keep coming back to this moment of Felicity Jones's character is obviously not in a good place. Like she's pretty depressed. Is drinking rum from the
so
bottle.
much rum.
A lot, and but that bottle though.
That bottle.
Okay, it's like this beautiful old school like tonic bottle.
Yeah.
I want it in my home.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it tattooed.
And this
As a subversive movie tattoo. It's from, don't you know, it's from Cheerful Weather for a Wedding. Anyways, so we keep coming back to this flashback of the Joseph character. Hang on, cat.
Yeah,
is
cat. Just
dangerous cat.
dangerous cat.
We keep coming back to this Joseph character, who is like the love interest that we don't want in the home, the ex love interest.
Yeah, so
and he keeps knocking on the door, and we keep coming back to that. But like, so then they do another flashback of them at a dance, and they're fucking square dancing. But it's
so
it's
random,
a British
too.
movie. Like, why? I don't understand. Do they square dance? Is that a thing?
They probably have some shindigs.
It was in a barn too, though. Like,
So maybe we should explain this a little better. So the wedding day is happening, and then throughout the movie, there's interspersed flashbacks of this past relationship between the bride to be and this dude that shouldn't be at the wedding.
yeah,
And what they're trying to do is sort of show us this summer that they had, this romantic summer that they've had throughout the course of the movie. And so throughout that, we're seeing that. We're not really seeing that through anybody's point of view. We're just seeing it. It's not like somebody's remembering this. No, we're just seeing it.
yeah.
But during, I guess, what's happening now, the modern time, we're just getting nothing.
No, it's so boring.
Yes.
Okay, and then so I asked Corette because it's just going on, and like we haven't even gotten to the wedding yet, and we're an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
And it's wedding, cheerful weather for a wedding. Like,
Yeah, it was like, okay, so how long is this movie got to be? It's got to be wrapping up. No, another half hour.
half hours, and we were so bored because like the whole thing is like Joseph's character. It wants to stop this wedding.
Yeah, he wants to stop this wedding. That's why
and
he's
he
there.
keeps trying to get upstairs, but Felicity Jones's character is still getting ready.
Yeah,
so he can't go in.
And that's the beginning of the movie, is him going upstairs, knocking on the door, being like, hey, like, let's talk.
I'm here.
I'm here. Let's talk. And she's like, nah. And
Can't do it. Sorry.
That's it.
Getting ready
And
for
then
my
like
wedding.
he takes a nap or something.
Hey, no, he was in the bathroom. Chris kept saying, oh yeah, good job. Thanks for coming back for your nap.
I don't know. Time passes. Lunch happens. He wasn't at lunch, was he? No,
Yeah, he was at lunch.
he was at lunch.
This is post-lunch.
But like time passes, and he's just like, suddenly the wedding's starting to happen, and he just shows up out of nowhere. We're like, whoa, oh, guys, what's going on? And he goes to the room, and she's not there because she's down going to the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's like, where was he?
He was in the bathroom wetting his hair, Chris. It's important. British boys need to look prim and proper.
I swear he just took a nap in the bathroom or
Did
something.
not take a nap. I would love that if they just. That seems like something this movie would do. Actually,
Actually, yeah.
They just cut to him like sleeping in the tub.
That would make for a better movie.
Yeah. What else did I write? Oh yeah, this movie could have been a 30-minute bottle episode. It
Okay,
was-
so he knocks on the door. She's like, nah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so the wedding is beginning to happen, I guess?
Yeah, she has to go to the wedding.
Yeah,
at
she,
this point. Yeah.
she has to go to the wedding. It's kind of her thing.
Oh, we never said it. It all takes place at this house, at their home.
Yeah, this entire part of the movie is all in this
Yeah.
house. So she's out of there. She's getting ready to go, and then like they bump into each other.
So-
does anything else happen between? I don't think. Again, nothing.
So they're
really-
like running around. She goes to talk to this old blind woman.
oh yeah,
in the kitchen.
Grandma is freaking awesome.
Okay, yeah, she is definitely. I swear to God, she can tell the future
Yeah,
and knows all.
she is
She
the
is the
all-knowing.
all-seeing eye. Praise be.
She's this crazy old grandma who's supposedly blind, and she's got like the milky eye thing going
Yeah.
on. But like she's like serving up tea and just doing everything in normal.
Oh, and she shakes up some britches over there too, because she's like, oh, last summer you were so happy. I'm so glad you're getting married. But Grandma, she's got some bad memory because she's not marrying Summer Boy.
Yeah.
Summer Boy's our Joseph.
Yeah.
And she's not getting married to him, so she's like, oh no. And then Joseph's running downstairs. Felicity Jones's character's coming out of the kitchen. Boom, crash. Her rum spills on her dress.
Don't spill the rum! No! All over the dress.
Also, she should be plastered at this point.
oh, she went through
had
a bottle of rum.
Bottle of rum. Well, what seems to be a bottle
Most
of rum.
of that bottle of
Yeah.
rum. Like there was multiple.
She
shots.
hung out with that rum. She named that rum bottle. A shot of brandy,
Mm-hmm.
and then another shot of rum downstairs that she proceeded to spill on her dress.
Yeah. So, but she was like British drunk, which means pretty much sober
Yeah,
to the rest of the
doing
world.
all right. She's doing okay. Very functional.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she gets bumped into. He's like, no, like don't go, don't. And she's like, but she's very preoccupied with we need to cover this
But
stain
like
up.
this entire time, like they've been trying to make it very clear that he wants to say something to her.
Yeah.
Like he's like, okay, like when is she coming down? When is she coming down? He knocks on the door. It's like, hey, are you coming down? Like let's talk. Let's
Yeah.
hash this out or whatever. They finally meet in this stupid
Quirky
we
sort of
crashed into each
meet
other, whatever.
cute situation.
And then he says nothing.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. And she's like, hey, go get me a scarf. And he just goes and gets a scarf.
And he does, and he doesn't stop her. What? Doesn't even try.
It doesn't even try. And then
Which we've been waiting for the entire movie.
Yeah, so
This has been an
gets
hour, by the way. This is an hour. And we're only getting to the wedding.
So he gets the scarf, they fix up the dress so it looks all right again, and then she leaves.
Just leaves.
And he does not.
And he's very upset. And he's a sad boy.
Yeah, he's just super upset, and you're just like, well, you could have said something.
Yeah.
So what we're thinking is, okay, so they're heading off to the wedding. He's gonna follow after. So then what happens is we get to the wedding. He crashes the wedding, and we get through.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. We don't see the wedding at all. There is no wedding in this movie.
Why? Why would you put wedding in the title of the movie?
We get a time skip in there. Everybody's coming back to the house from the wedding, which the guy didn't go to.
We don't even get a clip.
He just hung out at the house.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, can you call me a taxi?
She's like, it'll be a while.
It'll be a while, which apparently is all fucking day.
Yeah. Apparently British taxis take half the day for them to get to your freaking house.
So he hangs out at the house. The entire wedding party and everybody that went to the wedding is back at the house.
And she's now married.
And she's now married.
And we didn't get a fucking clip.
Not
of it.
even a little bit. We're just like, all right, well, the
Not
wedding
even like a photo or like a pamphlet from the wedding.
Yeah, nothing. So at this point,
No throwing of the bouquet as like a edit transition. No.
So at this point, we're really wondering where this movie is going to go, because the traditional movie thing, the very cliche thing, of course it's very cliche, is he stomps into the wedding, he's like, stop the wedding, I love her, blah, blah. And you go on your, and of course that's very cliche, and it wouldn't be very good, but at least it would be something.
It would have fit the movie.
It definitely would have fit the movie.
Yeah.
But at this point, now it's just awkward, because the wedding already happened. They are now man and wife. Everybody's trying to celebrate this thing that's happened, and we have this grumpy guy waiting for his taxi.
Yeah, that's what this movie has become.
All this movie is this grumpy guy waiting for his taxi alone in the library. The movie.
Yeah, that's a cheerful day to chill in a library waiting for taxi.
But then, throughout this entire movie, it's just him being grumpy. And you're just like, of course you're being grumpy. You're at this wedding you shouldn't even be at, unless you were going to stop it at the wedding.
It's so rough, man. I don't understand. I just don't understand the thought process that these people went through.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, you know what? A whole movie about a wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that event.
No,
I don't want to show it.
The wedding's not really important. No, it's not a real...
Like, they're obviously going for some sort of, like, bottle episode, let's keep it all in this house sort of thing.
That's what we were saying through the entire watching of the movie. This would have been a really great 30-minute episode of some show.
You know what? I think I've actually seen that Friends episode where Ross is trying to get everybody to go to, like, the ball or something.
Or something, yeah. And, like, honestly, like, with this cast of characters and stuff, it would be really cool to see this as a series. And like start to actually get to know the characters and stuff, because there's zero character development in this movie.
Yeah, it could have been like a quirky Downton Abbey. Like, legitimately, though.
But for as long as this movie is, we don't know anything about these characters.
And
other
we don't even get, like, catharsis. We don't get emotional release. We don't get any of that.
No. So anyway, we're going through the movie here, and at this point, things are getting a little awkward, and I turn to Sam and go, anything he does now, he becomes the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because if he says something now, he's talking to the wife of another man. Like, that's not cool.
No.
If he was going to do something before the wedding, would have been the time.
Yeah, and then he's the savior of romance.
Yeah, and he's the
hero.
romantic, he's the hero, he's all of this. So then we start to get more pieces to the puzzle, right? In the flashbacks, where it turns out that the mother was the reason.
She's the instigator.
She was the instigator of
breaking
her daughter and the other guy getting together, because she saw I don't know names.
Joseph and Felicity.
Joseph and Felicity
They were-
getting it on.
Let's get it on.
So the mother saw that and was not amused, so she sent Felicity off to be in another
Albania.
country.
She went sent her to Albania.
Yeah,
and then
Albania.
then her and her new lover fell in love in
Yeah.
Albania. Yeah.
Because she wanted to make sure that she was separated from him. So the mother's the bad guy. You know, typical mom bad guy.
Yeah.
So we learn that. And that's all well and good. That was in the past. That's what happened. And then we get back to the present and nothing is happening. And then
Nobody's saying anything to anybody.
nobody is saying anything to anybody.
More confetti bombs are going off.
Oh yeah, those confetti bombs are really
With more frequency, I might add. I think they were just grasping at straws. Like, what's exciting?
What's exciting?
The only thing we have is the stuck door and the confetti bombs. Let's blow that up.
We have
man.
this entire slow as molasses, like super quiet, chill movie, and then boom, explosion. It's like they called up Michael Bay and be like, "Hey, how do we make this movie more exciting? Explosions!" Oh, okay.
Do you like confetti? That's my Michael Bay impression.
So we finally get to what I guess would be the climax of the movie, where what's her name? Felicity.
Felicity, yeah.
I don't know
That's
names.
not her real name. That's not her character name.
Okay, I don't know names. I don't care. So
Dolly.
Dolly.
That's her character
Dolly is the character name. She goes to the library that the guy has been just standing and waiting for his taxi, and then they have this incredibly long silence.
I did appreciate they cut the music at that point.
Yeah,
and just
and again,
gave the attention to the characters.
really great direction, really great. Everything around what was actually happening was fantastic.
Yeah,
They
everything
cut the
around the
music,
story
and even that
was well done.
even that overly long silence was just you could feel the tension.
Yeah,
and
it was good.
It was a really good moment.
That leads nowhere.
But then they're just like,
And they do nothing with it.
and nobody says anything. Like she's like blah 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 blah. He's like okay. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
he's literally saying
Okay.
one word to her.
One word, whatever.
So he's not expressing himself like we need that character to
and
do.
at this point, as a viewer, we're just like, no, this is your moment. You have to say something. This is your moment. And then they get together. There's another awkward silence, and then they kiss, and you're like, oh right, okay.
And
yes.
husband comes in.
And husband comes in.
Oh, pardon me, were you talking there?
And at this point, we haven't really seen any of the husband at all. In this
He's
movie.
talked once.
He's talked once. He's not really a character in this movie.
No.
But then so we get the husband coming in. He's like, "Oh, that's weird. Whatever." Like he doesn't actually see the kiss. I don't think
He's suspicious.
he's
though.
suspicious, but
New bride, whatever.
But then the movie sort of tries to pound us over the head to make us feel like the new husband is the bad guy, but because he doesn't like the tortoise.
Yeah. So there's this thing in one of the flashbacks where Joseph gives Dolly, who's the main girl, a small little tortoise.
Yeah.
And then there's another motif that comes back, not important. But anyways, this tortoise is now grown, and she wants to take it with her on her honeymoon to Argentina.
Yeah.
And the husband's like, "Hey, I heard about this tortoise. We ain't taking no fucking tortoise."
Yeah, he's just like, no tortoise. The tortoise is gonna die on this ship. He's actually making a valid point.
He's
just
very smart.
But anyway, they're trying to beat it over the head that the husband's the bad guy, which you're just like, no, he's just some innocent bystander to this fuckery that's going on.
To his wife who does not communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then here's the thing: Joseph is just standing there with his back to
Nice job
everything.
remembering, by the way.
Yeah, I remember the name. So he's just standing there with his back to them.
And the mother comes
says
in.
nothing. Then the mother comes in. Is and
It's oh, awkward once again.
oh, awkward moment, whatever. But then everybody just walks out of the room.
Nothing is solved.
Nothing is solved.
We
Nothing
get
is
no
said.
expression. Nothing.
Nothing happens. Philip. That was Philip's moment. If he was gonna say anything,
Joseph, for Christ's sakes. Chris.
Joseph, Frank, George, Smith. That was Bob's time to shine. Okay.
Fair.
That was
No, it's so true. He should. That is the moment. I was waiting to love that character.
Yeah, okay, we got the kiss. Okay, this is going to explode. We got love going on. We're gonna go. We're gonna go full ham. Let's just do this. Let's run away with the bride. Let's just do it. Let's end this movie. No, you want to know what happens next? You know what happens next.
They just slowly walk into the car and leave.
They get in the car. The bride and the groom get in the car, and you never see them again for the rest of the movie.
Gone. Bye.
They are gone. They're on their honeymoon.
Like, yeah, like they're going on the boat. Bye-bye. Like, yeah.
And Philip's still there waiting for his taxi.
For the entire fucking day.
But he's still there. Now he's in the common area of the house. He's staring out a window, which he does a lot.
Very depressed.
Very depressed.
Because he realizes, oh yeah, I'm a pussy and was almost an asshole, and I'm a pussy again.
And now I'm awkwardly still at this wedding reception, waiting for my taxi. I did nothing. I've done nothing. My life sucks.
Oh yeah, and then 10 minutes before the movie's about to end, there's this weird moment where one of the men in the house went into a room and found a woman's panties.
Oh yeah, they just throw this weird thing at the very end where you're just like, oh haha, we went into the wrong room or something. Two characters we've barely seen.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't know.
We don't give a shit about them.
No, yeah, like we barely know they exist because they're not a focus of this movie. Suddenly they're just like, oh, this weird room mix-up happened, and this is funny, I
knickers.
guess. Knickers.
Oh, no.
And it's supposed to be funny, I guess?
And that just happens for like a quick moment, and then we're back into like the main drama of that scene.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have Philip staring out a window being depressed, and we have the mom there, and we have a few other people.
The mom's like, stop being depressed.
Yeah, mom's finally just like sick of the bullshit at this point. She's like, why are you here? She basically says like, what? You're so depressed. All you men are so depressed all the time is what she actually says. She doesn't actually speak to Philip specifically.
While she's saying, while she's saying this, she grabs the bag of the leftover confetti bombs and tosses them into the coal-ridden fire.
Which will pay off later.
Yeah.
So the mom goes off about how men are just depressing or something.
Yeah.
Like she has this weird moment. And then Philip finally says something.
Finally.
Way too late!
Sorry, yeah, Dolly, gone.
Dolly is gone.
You're not getting your wife. You're just bitching to the mother. But it was good catharsis. Like, finally, way too late. As the movie says, time and tide was gone.
Yeah.
And we get that moment, he's like, what did he even say?
I don't remember. I don't remember what he said, but the information that we got out of what he said was that Dolly's pregnant, and that's why that's why the wedding happened so fast. Is Dolly's pregnant, which they don't allude to even a little bit.
No, there's no foreshadowing. She doesn't rub her belly.
There's no foreshadowing. There's no nothing. I'd have to watch the movie again to see.
You know what, man? That would have been a fantastic twist. If we come into, like, that's our climax of the movie, which it wasn't. Was there a climax of this movie? No.
But that's when you have Dolly and
Dude,
Philip.
that should have broken up the wedding.
Or something. Or even in the library, where they're just like, they're there.
Oh, they should have had a conversation about it.
Be like, okay, I know what's going on here. I know why you got married so quickly.
Yeah.
Is it mine? Do you know? And suddenly you're just like, but no.
Dude, yeah, that's the only drama we have, and that would have been amazing.
But then we don't get the drama because then he's telling the mom, not, like, Dolly's gone. Again, we don't see her for the rest of the film. So he's telling the mom, after everything is done, it might be my baby. We don't know.
But and he really was just doing it to just, like stab the mother in the gut.
Like, basically, he just takes a pot shot at the mother, who admittedly is the bad guy of the movie.
Yeah.
But barely.
Really barely, yeah.
And like,
really, the bad guy of the movie is that he's a pussy. Really.
But then, like, the music shoots up and it's like, you know, like...
Well, no, he gets the tortoise.
Oh, you're right.
So he's given the tortoise by, like, a kind... I almost said waitress. It's not what it is.
So he walks by the mom. He opens up the front door very, like, he won the day. Triumphantly.
Yeah.
He walks out of the door. He's given the tortoise as this, like, here, take the tortoise. New love affair happening here.
But no, it was supposed to be like a moment like,
go
I know. Get her.
Yeah, I know what they were trying to do that didn't work.
No, and he should have, like, I was expecting, like, grabs the tortoise, puts it in his jacket, you know, keeps the baby warm, and runs to the station or something, you know?
Or something.
But no, he just walks off. And as the movie's ending, the taxi drives right past him.
And he's just walking home. Like, the
so
movie...
why did you wait? Why did you wait if you just decided to walk home anyway?
The movie ends, and he's just, like, walking home. So it's just like... And then credits roll, and you're just like... Why?
Now, this is not to say I'm all about endings that are not like that don't really resolve too well.
And I'm all
No
about-
Country for Old Men, Fargo,
Yeah.
great endings. You don't really know what's gonna happen. You know, this is like the shit that you want us to think is gonna happen. Like he brings a tortoise to her, they fall in love again, and they run off to Argentina or some bullshit. Would not happen anyways.
And in a lot of movies where they're just like, we're not going to give you the traditional lovey ending.
Yeah.
Would give you something.
Some sort of like something to believe in.
You know, like a good ending to this movie would have been them in the library. They hash it out. He's like, is the baby mine? She's like, I don't know. But then like she's just like, but I'm still staying with my husband.
Yeah.
But they hash it out there.
Yeah, because they did have there was a moment beforehand where he's like talking to the longtime like head helper. I don't know what to say. Servant.
The servant.
Yeah. And she's like, I've known Dolly since she was 7, and like, and you missed your chance, and now she's getting married. Like that's just life, and that would have made a great connection if Dolly's character then was like, I'm sorry, you missed your chance. Like, I'm getting married now.
Like, they don't have to end the movie with them all lovey-dovey
No.
and running away.
And they shouldn't have.
No.
I don't
want that ending, but
No.
what I want is some sort of closure between the two main characters.
Yeah, you're right. There's no closure. That's the big
nothing.
issue.
He says nothing. They kiss, but then...
But there wasn't anything.
There's nothing there. There's no chemistry there. They don't mention the kid at all. So
they're still obviously in love with each other.
Very
much
so. Like, there's still that there.
And
so
there's no closure
yeah. At all.
Yeah. Man, you can tell we love this movie. It was fucking great. It was hour and a half too long.
Way too long.
Yeah.
It was about 8 hours too long, it felt like.
Yeah. It was bad, man.
Yeah, the pacing was terrible. But, like, again, cinematography, the audio, like, there's a lot going for this movie, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it's not a savings grace.
Though. No.
It didn't save this movie. The kid with the confetti bombs, though. Oh, I forgot. Those confetti bombs blew right the fuck up in that fire, and ash went all over a beautiful, nice, older British lady.
Yeah, this, like, British lady in a blue dress
beautiful.
that I guess we're supposed to hate because she's stuck up or something.
Bitchy, yeah.
And again, I think what they were trying to do was, like, when she comes in, she's all blah, 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 and she's like, I guess we're supposed to hate her.
I guess
But she's in the movie so little that you forget about her by the time she gets her up and comings or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
her comeuppance.
Yeah. So when the thing blows up in her face, you're like, oh, right, she exists.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, right, she got hers, yeah!
That's
no,
so
it's
fair.
Just like, no, she's a thing.
That kid, though, man.
That kid
was awesome. But yeah, so, I mean, what's your rating?
You know what? I'm going to give it 2. 2 stars out of 5.
2 out of 5, yeah.
2 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5 too.
The cinematography is great. The sound design is great. There's a lot of stuff there. There's some levity to it that's really cool. And if they would just tighten it up.
Yeah.
And again, if they tighten that up to like a half-hour thing and maybe given us some closure, that would have been a fan-friggin-tastic movie. Mm-hmm. But it's way too long. Nothing happens. And the kid blows up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, legitimately. That's not even an over-exaggeration. Yeah. That's the thing. Literally nothing happens and a bunch of bombs go off. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm glad that was our first movie, though.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Because it wasn't absolute garbage where we were just destroying it the entire time.
Because I almost feel bad because I want to like this movie because... It was some work really went into this movie.
Yeah, you can tell people did care about it.
Yeah. And they got some decent actors in there. Like most of the
Felicity Jones is great.
Yeah.
I've seen the mom in other movies before too, and she's a good actress also.
So there's some good acting there, but unfortunately, nothing to work with.
Yeah.
Literally.
No. It's such a shame too.
Yeah.
Because it could have been great.
Yeah.
But oh well.
All right. So, as part of this podcast, what we wanted to do is talk about a movie for a while.
Yeah.
And then talk about life for a while.
Talk about that shit movie, and then let's go into like some actual things we enjoy.
Because the thing is, you can't just leave a podcast on such a terrible note.
No. So, we need some positivity. We're positive gentlemen.
Well, I mean, you are, but...
Okay. At least you feign positivity.
So, Sam.
Yes, sir.
Hi. How you doing?
Is this now an interview? Now
This
you're
is-
just going to interview me for
I'm
this?
just going to interview you. So, Sam, you were born in... So what have you been doing? So we haven't really had a real conversation in weeks.
Legitimately.
School ended weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I feel like it ended forever ago, and I've had no interaction with human beings other than my family. So, help me
Okay,
out.
what have I been doing? Let's see here. I almost said masturbating too much.
You have a problem, Sam.
Well, it's not far from the truth, let's be honest here. No. So, I've been just like chilling mostly. I've been thinking a lot about my YouTube channel and not doing anything about it.
So you technically have a YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah, I technically have it, but there's nothing on it.
So we're gonna link that, and you're gonna put something on it. So
so
when
terrifying to
so
me.
when people like click on it, there will be something on
Okay,
there
all
eventually.
right, yeah, okay, yeah, it's the Calderon.
Yeah, okay.
Is what we're going for.
All
That's
right.
my last name. So yeah, I want to start that, and I wanted to just be. Originally, I was gonna do video essays,
Mhm.
and then I realized, wow, video essays are a lot of work. They're hard as hell.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do. I just need something that has a less of a barrier of entry
Yeah.
to it, you know. So I'm just gonna do a couple vlogs here and there.
Yeah. Vlogs are good places to sort
Yeah.
of just dip your feet in because it's
Not
great.
like, but like sit down vlogs, like a Vlog Brothers sort of thing.
Okay.
Less like a here's what I did today, because here what I did today is probably like I jerked off in the morning. And then...
You want to have a topic.
Yeah, exactly.
More like like I do my rant videos.
Yeah,
Kinda
exactly.
like
Something
that
to
where
talk about. Yeah. So that's what I've been thinking about recently, though. And then I got a new job. I'm working at Subway.
Ooh, Subway.
It actually is good. I do
The
like my job.
Subway.
Sure.
So, what's a cool thing that you've watched?
I've been watching The Keepers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just started that yesterday, and I'm already 6 episodes deep. There's only 7.
I need to watch that because we'll explain it.
I was
because-
telling you about it. Yeah, it's about this nun in 1969. She went missing and then was found 2 months later murdered. Okay, and she taught at this Catholic school, and what is speculated is that because it did come out later on that the main father at the chaplain at this school was abusing children,
Yeah.
right? Like it was all girls school, and then they think that she confronted him about it, and then was murdered. But it's unknown. It's never, and the case went cold, really cold,
Oh, weird.
and until like the 90s, and then it was reopened because then a woman came out and said, yeah, I was abused by this man,
Oh, wow.
and like she was like all of her, she repressed her memories for 20 years,
Huh.
and they started to flood back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so this is on Netflix,
It's a Netflix original.
Okay, so,
yeah, it was made by the guys that made Making a Murderer. If you watch
which
that.
got me really excited about that because Making a Murderer was fantastic.
I heard. I didn't watch it.
Really? No, you should.
I should. Well, I'm going to now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because The Keepers was so good. Like I'm really enjoying it.
Making a Murderer was really well made, but it's definitely not an unbiased
Oh, okay.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you go in there, they have
want
you-
their idea.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
their idea of what happened, and they're really trying to sell you on that instead
Okay.
of like being really unbiased and just telling you what
Yeah.
happened. So
I know it like does the same thing, like in The Keepers, and I know Making a Murder does the same thing. It's like because I've talked to other people who watch Making a Murder. It kind of goes like it makes you think, oh, it's going this way, and then shuts that down and it goes another way,
Yeah.
and then shuts that down and goes another way, and that's exactly what The Keepers does too.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like the way they do it more because it's like the way they kind of do it is like they're exploring this girl's memories
That's kind of cool.
for like a huge part of it, and then it goes back to because then there was a whole trial about that. I'm not giving it. I'm not going to give it all away, right? No information given, but like there's like a trial against this man, right? This like the abuser, the pedophile, right? And then so there's a huge portion that's like 3 episodes, and then we come back to looking for Kathy's murderer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Kathy
really
is
cool.
the nun.
yeah.
Yeah. It's really well done.
That's really cool.
It's really well
And
done.
you were explaining this to me. I was just like, you would really like the podcast Serial. And I know like everybody else who's
Yeah.
listening to this has probably listened to Serial because it got super huge when it came out a few years back.
Yeah.
But
it
definitely.
sounds so cool.
Yeah.
That she just like explores this.
And it's her storytelling is impeccable. And it's all happening in such real time. Like she's in the middle of the investigation as she's making the episodes. So
Was it like already saw? Oh, it's that she's trying to figure out if he actually committed this crime.
yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's trying to sort of dig into it a little deeper than she think maybe the police did and stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
and it's really good. And what's really cool is because it's so current, she actually, once the series was over, she actually did some update podcast just to sort of explain, now there's a trial going on, and now this is going on, like current event stuff going on within the trial that she does updates.
That's
to,
gnarly.
so,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is like such real time too. That's the thing about this show too, because it's like it was reopened in the 90s, it was closed, and then it like is now reopened again.
Yeah.
You know, which is so cool, and so it's like happening again. It's like 2015.
That's neat.
But that's like now.
That does basically.
That's pretty much now. But yeah, what else have I been into recently? I've been really into the Chris Gethard show. I got back into it.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard of the Chris Gethard show?
No.
So it's not well known. It's really underground, which like I love to say because it makes me seem like a cooler individual.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
really?
so underground,
No,
dude.
I'm the only person who watches this. I'm literally the
Legitimately.
only
Okay, I know. I just watched a thing that said like, "Hey, do you?" It was like making fun of people who do that all the time, and I'm one of those people. And it's like, "Hey, do you watch a show that you definitely don't watch that makes me look way cooler than you?" But anyways, this show that I watch that makes me way cooler than you is like, it's fucking awesome. Because so Chris Gethard is a comedian.
Okay.
And he like got up in the improv scene.
Okay.
But he's this guy who's like in the improv scene for like a decade and never got out.
Oh no.
So his show was like on public access for a long time and then got picked up for cable. And it is so radically inclusive. And the way I mean like that is like he's so empathetic of everyone. Which is something that you like a lot of times to me, I think that kills comedy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time.
It can, yeah.
It can. But on like for me, like personally, I'm the type of guy who used to like was like Chris Rock and Louis C.K.
Yes.
And George Carlin, like those, and like the one who just passed away, Don Rickles.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know, big into those guys. They all are just like, if you're not offended, you're not laughing, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know? So that was my idea of comedy. And then like I start watching this and it's so different. It's so inclusive. And like a huge thing is that it's like one of the most interactive shows I've ever seen. Because he'll get Skype callers on. So like the first episode of season 1, I was telling Chris this. The first episode of season 1 is show me the weirdest part on your body. And he gets Skype callers to just call in and they just show him the weirdest part of their body. And that's all it is. And he has the 2 women from Broad City on. Do you know Broad City?
Yeah.
He has the 2 women from Broad City on and they just like celebrate the weirdest part of people's bodies.
It's the dangly part on the arm.
No, seriously, dude. Like, and this one guy like shows this like big clump on his hip.
It's like, you need to get that looked at, actually.
No, and he's like, I did. It's full of fingernails and hair.
What?
They think it's a twin. Like a gaunt. It's like a fat deposit.
No.
He's like, it would take me $2,000 to remove. And then the one girl's like, is that an erogenous zone? Like, do you get turned on if I touch that?
Oh.
But it's so like, it's not like they're not trying to like beat people up or anything. It's like laughing about it and like celebrating these like the weirdest fucking parts of your body.
That is my brother. I named him Tim.
Yeah. Like, okay, so he's like a big believer in like stupid ideas. Like he just goes for it, you know? Like one entire like 45-minute long episode is he has a dumpster on the stage and his 2 guests who are comedians, I forget their name, but the one guy does the I Can't Believe This Got Made podcast. The one weird looking dude with the ears.
I know what you mean, yeah. How Did This Get Made?
Yeah. Anyways, I forget him. Bald dude. Anyways. So, and they just, the entire episode is them guessing what's in the dumpster. The entire episode. And they get people to call in.
Do they get clues at least?
They eventually start getting hints.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it'll be like, somebody just calls in, it's like, I think there's a racquetball in there. And then they're like, nope.
It's a body. It's 2 bodies.
And then Chris will be like, are we close? And he's like, nah, not fucking it up. And then and when you find out what's in the dumpster, it destroys you.
It's 3 bodies, right?
It's 3 severed bodies sewn together.
I was so close.
God damn. But yeah, you got Chris Gethard show. I can't recommend the Chris Gethard show enough.
Cool.
It makes you feel, as an outsider, and who's always been an outsider, it makes you feel like you belong.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I really like that. God, I've been doing so little.
Same.
I've been live streaming a little bit of Persona 5. Persona 5 is friggin' phenomenal.
Oh, I want to see that before.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely show you. It is so stylish. Like it's one of those things about those games in general. It's just so stylish, and you just sort of sit back and let it wash over you. Like they're super slow games. They take their time.
Yeah.
But things are always sort of happening, and you just let it wash over you.
Is it kind of like how Persona 4 was, where it's kind of like a day in the life simulator?
It's exactly that.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like their form? Because I've never really played this.
So I've only played 3 and 4 other than this, so I haven't played the first 2, which nobody's played the first 2, so whatever. But yeah, they all follow that same basic format where you go to school during the day and you do your social interactions, and then at night you go and dungeon crawl.
Oh, okay.
Or not necessarily at night.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the dungeon crawl, then there's the social aspect, and a big part of it is balancing your time between doing that and you're doing your social stuff, because the more social stuff you have, the more powers you have, all this stuff. So it's a really good balancing act.
Oh, that's good.
And that's sort of the cool part of those games. And what Persona 5 really does really well is it sort of takes the best parts of 3 and the best parts of 4 and puts them into the same game.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's a really cool mixture of all that stuff. So I've been doing a lot of that. I just started watching Twin Peaks finally.
Oh, yeah.
Which I can't really talk a whole lot about because I'm still really early in, and everybody knows. Either you care about Twin Peaks and you want to hear about it, but you've already seen it, so I can't.
Dude, I know nothing about Twin Peaks. Like, I know literally nothing.
It's basically.
I know that it's a murder mystery.
Yeah, it's like a murder mystery in
a weird town, right?
Weird town where weird things happen.
It's not supernatural though, right?
I think I don't know, because where I'm at, basically, so there's this FBI agent that is there sort of investigating, and he's sort of the weirdest part of the whole thing.
Okay.
But all of his leads into the investigation come from a dream that he had.
That's it?
Yeah, so, and then, like, he sees all this stuff that happened in his dream, which is leading him to actually finding things. So, maybe supernatural?
Maybe, yeah, I guess so, eh?
And I know nothing about Twin Peaks, so I'm in a really cool place to watch it now where I don't really know how it goes. But
yeah.
I almost feel like it's going to be one of those series that kind of just doesn't solve it. But that's okay, because it was about the journey, not the destination. You know, like...
all that fuddy-duddy crap.
You know what I mean? It's like, who killed... What's-her-face? Who killed Laura? We don't know, but that wasn't the point.
Fair.
You know what I mean? It's about...
They just want to tell this weird story.
Yeah, exactly. It's about who was Laura Palmer? Who are these people? What's
cool.
going on in this? People are shooting other people, and things are happening, and it's an interesting thing. It's a very slow... And again, it's almost like Persona in a weird way, where everything's really slow.
It's like a routine, sort of day in the life sort of thing.
Taking its time with stuff. Like, things are constantly happening, but it's taking its time with it. And for a show from, like, 1990... the fact that it's a very serialized show is really interesting, because that didn't happen back then. You know, you had like Babylon 5 and this show, and that was it for serialized shows.
You just really aged yourself. Babylon 5, oh boy.
Man, I could talk all day about some Babylon 5.
Really? You're the
all day.
one person to talk about Babylon 5?
I listen to a bi-weekly podcast
about Babylon 5. Dude, come on.
Every single time. It is in my subscription.
And you listen to every episode?
Every episode. They've been doing this for years now.
That is so fun. What do they talk about at this point?
They go through an episode at a time. So they're watching the series through, and they just go through an episode at a time.
See, okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's basically the guide to Babylon 5.
I know there's this one from the X-Force Fed host, Steve Zaragoza.
Okay.
He does a podcast called It Feels Like the First Time.
Oh.
And each podcast episode is weekly, and he watches 2 episodes of Lost.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he's just watching through Lost with like a bunch of friends. And then like every finale, he'll just get like a shit ton of people to watch it with him. Yeah.
Prepare for disappointment.
Yeah, it's good.
See, yeah, so anyway, that should...
I feel like, yeah.
We're about an hour, so that's where we wanted it.
Dandy.
Yeah.
You know... Guys, we'll figure out the format a little better next time. We're just sussing this out.
The thing is, and what I like about this is the idea is we're going to keep it nice and loose.
Yeah.
We're not going to stick to a formula of sorts.
No.
Like, obviously, every episode's going to start with the show, because that's what you came for.
Yeah.
I imagine. It's
going
to start
us
with
to
the
shit
thing,
all over a show. Yeah.
The
or
thing
a movie,
that we
whatever.
watched, and then whatever. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're the dynamic duo over here.
Oh, yeah. What do we call ourselves? We'll get a nickname next time.
We'll get a nickname next time. Yeah, I am 2pixelwide on YouTube and Twitter and everything else.
And I'm Big Goddamn Idiot on Twitter
He is actually.
I am actually. That's not a joke, by the way. You can search that up. It's absolute vitriol. Don't follow me,
Don't
please.
follow him. Don't follow me either on Twitter, actually. I'm just a big angry
Chris is very angry about things that have no context.
Not at all.
All of a sudden, Chris will be like, "Oh my god, I hate Star Trek and that's stupid."
It's like, oh no, he's talking about the trailer that just happened.
Right.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's take a moment. Do you like Star Trek at all? Am I talking to a wall at this point?
You are talking to a wall.
Okay.
I'm not adverse to Star Trek.
Okay.
But I've never watched
All right,
any
so
of the show.
You just put up your wall for a second and let me just vent a little bit.
Okay,
They
go
just
for
put
it.
up a trailer for this new Star Trek series that's going to be coming out
I
at
thought
the
it
end
was
of the
good.
year. And it looks so much like those new movies. It's driving me insane because what we were promised was a series that takes place in the original timeline.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. The look of it, the visuals
They
of
changed the look of the Klingons for no reason. They changed the look of everything for no reason. Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah, they
My
did
wife
look
is over here
weird.
and she's just like, what are you talking about? They changed the Klingons?
Are you serious?
Yes. So anyway, I'm really upset and I don't know what to think. And I just
They're all
hope that it's
scaly
good.
now, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, I just want it to be good. But I don't want it to be like the new movies, because the new movies are good in their own right, but they're not Star Trek.
They're not your Star Trek.
They're not, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a grumpy old man who is angry that things are not made for grumpy old men like me anymore.
I do like the jumpsuits, though.
My dad feels.
My dad.
Exactly.
Think about it.
You know, people were actually upset at the uniforms. I actually like them.
Why?
because-
But that's from one of the shows, right? I recognized it from one of the series.
They're like an between original series and Enterprise. They're sort of like they're very obviously a combination of
Oh, okay.
that.
What was the one where
that
they
kinda
had the
makes
same
sense.
jumpsuits? like the
Very
old
similar
series?
jumpsuit was Enterprise, the worst Star Trek series.
That's what I've heard.
Until Discovery comes out. Ooh, sick burn. Anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting now.
Sounds good.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah, save that for your channel.
Yes, save that shit for your own channel.
Chris, this is a She Made Me podcast, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, it's not Star Trek. It's Babylon 5.
Let's start a bi-weekly Star Trek podcast.
Yes, where you don't care at all about Star Trek.
I
and
don't
I'm just
watch
gonna
it,
sit
and
there,
you just tell me about it.
And I'm just going to sit there and rant at your face the
Sounds great.
entire time.
That's actually our friendship.
It really is. I just sit there and rant. And he's like, "Okay, Chris, freaking chill out, relax. It's cool."
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful, and we will see you next week. Bye.